If you feel like you are disappearing, it's because you are. This isn't a crisis, it's the final stage of a quantum collapse. Your old self is dying, right on schedule. And this process, this terrifying dissolution you're experiencing, is not psychology. It's physics. It's a measurable decoherence of your entire bioenergetic field as it prepares to reform itself at a higher state of order. In the next 50 minutes, I will show you the scientific proof that this experience is not a breakdown. It is the ultimate sign of your success. I will give you a map to navigate these final, disorienting moments right before your new self emerges from the wreckage of the old. We will look at this through the precise lens of quantum biology and the hard science of neuroplasticity. We will explore how the observer, your core consciousness, is literally unwriting its own operating system, deleting the code that kept you small, that kept you trapped in a story that has reached its final page. You feel it, don't you? A profound disconnection from your own memories, as if you're watching a movie about someone else's life. You catch your reflection in the mirror, and for a split second, you don't recognize the person looking back. The ambitions that once drove you now feel hollow. The relationships that defined you feel distant. The very architecture of your personality seems to be dissolving, leaving you in a state of terrifying empty freedom. Nothing makes sense. Your very foundation has turned to dust. This is not failure. This is not a sign that you are broken. It is the primordial chaos that must precede a new creation. It is the sound of the final system reboot. If you're feeling this exact sense of dissolution, and this scientific framework finally makes sense of it, hit the like button now. It tells the universe and the algorithm that this validation is urgently needed. So what happens when your old self dies from a quantum perspective? Let me break down the physics of this metamorphosis. Ancient wisdom traditions understood this process intimately. They didn't have the language of quantum mechanics, so they used a metaphor of perfect biological precision. The chrysalis. They knew that for the caterpillar to become the butterfly, it cannot simply sprout wings. It must first completely dissolve. It must become an unrecognizable soup of potential inside a silent, sacred container. That container is where you are right now. A space of total breakdown that is, in reality, a space of total reconstruction. You are in the chrysalis, and the feelings of being lost, of being nothing, are not a curse. They are the prerequisite for your flight. Have you felt that chilling moment where you look at your life, your friends, your job, and feel like a stranger observing someone else's existence? That is the feeling of the old identity becoming an object of your awareness, rather than the subject. The fear you feel comes from one single error in perception. You believe you are the caterpillar that is dissolving. By the end of this video, you will no longer fear this process. You will see it as your graduation, and you will know exactly what to do next. You will understand that you are not the one dying. You are the sacred space in which the death and rebirth is happening. So what is happening to you, really? Let's be precise. This is not a vague spiritual metaphor. This is a description of a physical event. Your personal identity, the story of you, is not a fixed object in your mind, but a coherent and stable energy pattern, a specific waveform constantly reinforced by the act of observation. Your own thoughts, your habits, the expectations of others, the very architecture of your life. Every time you think, I am this, and you reinforce the pattern. Every time someone calls you by your name, they reinforce the pattern. Every time you drive to the same job, you reinforce the pattern. It is a standing wave of information. It is stable. It is predictable. It is you. And then, an event occurs, an awakening. This is not a gentle nudge. It is a massive influx of energy into your system. A quantum leap in voltage that the old wiring was never designed to handle. This new, high-frequency energy floods your bioenergetic field, and it begins to do one thing with ruthless efficiency. It destabilizes the old pattern. The stable, coherent waveform of your old self begins to wobble. It loses its integrity. This is the feeling of disorientation, the sense that you are no longer yourself, the anxiety that creeps in as the foundation of your reality begins to fracture. The system of you is becoming decoherent, losing its defined shape. This process continues until it reaches a critical threshold, a point of no return. the point where the old energy pattern can no longer hold its form under the pressure of the new frequency. It can no longer sustain the illusion of a separate, consistent self. And at that moment, it does the only thing it can do. It dissolves. This is the event we call the final self-collapse. It is the point where the waveform of your old identity ceases to be a coherent pattern and dissolves back into the quantum field. It is a necessary prerequisite. The old structure must be completely dismantled before a new, more complex and higher-order structure can be built. You cannot build a cathedral on the foundation of a shack without first clearing the ground. This is not an empty space you are falling into. It is not a void. Inside the chrysalis is not an empty space. It's a quantum soup of potential. Your old identity has dissolved into a superposition of every possible future you. This is ego death explained simple. It is the quantum system of you entering a state of maximum potential before collapsing into a more coherent, higher frequency state. You have not been erased. You have been returned to the field of all possibility, so that a truer, more powerful version of you can be selected and emerge. Now you understand why everything you've tried has failed. You understand why you feel so much pain and suffering through this process. You have been trying to fix yourself with therapy, with affirmations, with positive thinking. You have been desperately trying to feel normal again, to get back to the person you used to be. This is like trying to glue the caterpillar's legs back on while it is dissolving into that quantum soup. It is an act that works directly against the physics of your own evolution. Every attempt to hold on to the old identity, to reinforce the dying pattern, creates immense, unnecessary suffering. You are fighting a tidal wave of cosmic intelligence. You are resisting the fundamental blueprint of your own soul's expansion. The process itself is not inherently painful. It is your resistance to the process that is creating the agony. You are trying to force coherence on a system that is in a necessary state of decoherence. You are trying to hold a form that is destined to liquefy. The exhaustion you feel is the exhaustion of fighting a law of nature. So what is the new paradigm? What is the correct action to take when you find yourself in the sacred chaos of the chrysalis? It is not resistance. It is not fixing. It is conscious surrender. The new paradigm is to stop identifying with the dissolving caterpillar and instead to become the container. You become the chrysalis. You become the silent, strong, unwavering space that allows this quantum process to complete itself perfectly without interference. Your job is no longer to be a person. Your job is to be the sacred space in which a new person can be born. Think of an old part of your identity you've been fighting to keep alive, a career, a belief, a relationship. Can you feel the sheer exhaustion of holding that ghost in place? For your entire life you have operated under a single, unquestioned assumption. The assumption that you are your story. You are your name, your history, your memories, your accomplishments, your failures. You have lived as the central character in a narrative called My Life. And so, when that character begins to dissolve, when the story falls apart, you experience it as a terminal event. You feel the terror of annihilation because you believe you are the thing being annihilated. You believe you are the caterpillar. You feel its body liquefying, its form disappearing, and you interpret this biological imperative as your personal end. This is the source of all your suffering, and it is based on a single, fundamental misidentification. Here is the great revelation, the paradigm shift that ends the fear forever. You are not the caterpillar dying inside the chrysalis. You are the chrysalis itself. You are the silent, conscious, sacred container in which this entire metamorphosis is unfolding. Let that land. Feel the staggering implications of this truth. This means you are not dying. The object of your attention, the personality construct, the egoic pattern, is dying. This means you are not in danger. Your old story is in danger. This means you are not lost. The map you were using has simply burned away. The part of you that is watching this video, the silent presence that is hearing these words and feeling a resonance deep in your bones, that is the part that has always been here. It is the part that will remain. It is the eternal, unwavering awareness that was present for the caterpillar's birth, is witnessing its dissolution, and will be the platform from which the butterfly emerges. You are safe. you have always been safe. You were just identifying with the temporary form instead of the permanent space that holds it. This changes everything about how you navigate this process. The old approach was to try and fix the dissolving caterpillar, to fight the change, to frantically glue the story back together. The work is no longer to struggle. The work is to shift your identification. The new work is not to build a new you. The new work is to stabilize your awareness as the observer, to become the calm, unwavering chrysalis, so the miraculous transformation can happen perfectly without your interference. Your only job is to provide the silent, trusting, conscious space for the divine intelligence within you to complete its work. This is how to handle spiritual awakening identity shift. You stop identifying with the temporary occupant and start identifying with the sacred architecture of the process itself. What if this feeling of being lost is actually the feeling of your awareness finally becoming too vast to fit into the small box of your old name, your old story? What if it is not a sign of breakdown, but of expansion? This redefines identity itself. For so long you have believed you are a person having an experience, but the truth is far more profound. You are consciousness curating an identity. You are the silent field of awareness, and the personality is simply a temporary energy pattern that you have animated. And now, you are choosing to animate a new one. You are shifting from being the painting to being the painter, from being the character trapped in the story to being the author, ready to write a new chapter. The terror you felt was the terror of the painting, believing its erasure was the end of all things. The peace that is dawning now is the peace of the painter, who knows that a cleared canvas is not an ending. It is the ultimate beginning. This collapse isn't coming. It has already happened. The proof is all around you, but you have been misinterpreting it as failure. You've been seeing the quantum residue of your old self's dissolution and calling it a problem to be solved. But it is not a problem. It is evidence. It is the data that confirms the experiment of your life has taken a quantum leap. You have been looking at the crime scene of your old identity, thinking you are the victim, when you are in fact the architect of the entire event. Let's decode the three most powerful signs that the final self-collapse is complete. Let's learn to read the evidence correctly. The first sign is the fading of old desires. For years, perhaps decades, you were driven by a certain set of ambitions. A career path, a specific type of relationship, a financial goal, the accumulation of status or knowledge. These desires were not just ideas. They were the very engine of your identity. They organized your behavior, your choices, your entire life. And now, they are silent. You look at the mountain you were climbing, and you no longer feel the urge to take another step. You think of the goals that once burned inside you, and you feel a strange hollow distance. It's not that you failed to achieve them. It's that you no longer understand why you wanted them in the first place. This can be terrifying. You mistake this for apathy, for depression, for a loss of purpose. It is none of those things. It is a frequency mismatch. The old you was a specific, coherent energy pattern vibrating at a frequency that found those desires meaningful. That pattern, that caterpillar self, has dissolved. It is gone. The new, higher frequency consciousness that you are now stabilizing no longer resonates with those dense, outdated goals. It's like a finely tuned radio that can no longer pick up a low-frequency station. You are not broken. You are recalibrated. The silence of your old ambition is not an emptiness to be feared. It is the clearest proof that the part of you who held those ambitions is gone. It is evidence of dissolution. It is a success signal. The second sign is the void of absolute emptiness. This one is perhaps the most disorienting. It's those moments, hours, maybe even days where you feel nothing. Not sadness, not joy, not anger. Just blankness. A profound neutrality. A quiet, empty space where a personality used to be. In these moments, you may look in the mirror and see a stranger. You may interact with loved ones and feel like you are watching a movie. The mind panics here. It labels this void as nihilism, as dissociation, as a catastrophic loss of soul. But you must understand what this void truly is. It is the quantum soup inside the chrysalis. When the caterpillar dissolves, it does not leave an empty shell. It becomes a rich, potent, undifferentiated cellular soup, a field of pure potential from which the butterfly will be built. That is what you are feeling. That void is not an absence. It is the presence of everything held in a state of superposition. It is the fertile ground of pure potential before the new creation begins. It is your consciousness resting in its own unbound nature before it chooses to collapse into a new form. Feeling this void is not a sign that you are lost. It is a sign that you have returned to the source of all creation. It is proof of potential. The third sign is the surge of irrational synchronicities. Suddenly, the universe seems to be speaking to you in code. You see repeating numbers everywhere: 11, 11, 444, 222. A song comes on the radio with the exact words you need to hear. You have a random thought about someone you haven't seen in years, and they call you that very same day. The external world begins to feel responsive, magical. The skeptical part of your old mind tries to dismiss this as coincidence, as pattern-seeking bias. But this is physics. It is the first reflection of your new coherence. As the observer, your true awareness stabilizes at a new, higher, more orderly frequency. The quantum field around you has no choice but to begin reflecting that order back to you. The synchronicities are the first ripples in the pond. They are the external world starting to organize itself around your new internal energetic signature. They are not random messages from a distant God. They are echoes of your own emerging divinity. They are the universe showing you the blueprint of the new self you are crystallizing into form. It is the field confirming it has received your new signal. It is proof of rebirth. So look at your life right now. The fading desires are the residue of your past. The void is the unfiltered potential of your present. The synchronicities are the undeniable promise of your future. You have been seeing these signs as problems to be fixed. You must now see them as data points confirming your success. Which of these signs have you been trying to fix in your life, and how does it feel to realize it was actually a confirmation of your success? These are not symptoms of a breakdown. They are the metrics of a breakthrough. Comment which of the 3 signs you've been experiencing the most intensely. Let's create a public record of this metamorphosis, validating each other's journey. I read every comment to witness your emergence. You understand it intellectually. You have seen the proof in your own life. Now let's feel it. Let's facilitate the emergence. The theory is behind us. The direct experience is what matters now. If you are in a safe place to do so, I invite you to gently close your eyes. If not, simply soften your gaze and turn your awareness inward. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, release the need to understand. Release the need to analyze. Release the identity of the person who is trying to figure this out. Let it all go. For the next few moments, you are not a name. You are not a story. You are not your past, and you are not your future. You are simply awareness. Let's begin. Become the chrysalis. Feel your consciousness not as something inside your head, but as the silent, aware space in which all things are happening. Feel it as the room in which the furniture of your thoughts and feelings exists. You are not the thoughts. You are the space that holds them. You are not the sensations in your body. You are the silent witness to those sensations. Feel this. Feel the quiet strength of the container, the unwavering presence of the observer. This is your eternal nature. It has been here all along, watching the caterpillar live, watching it build this sacred space and watching it dissolve. It does not judge. It does not fear. It simply is. Settle into this vast, silent, powerful space that you are. This is the chrysalis. This is your true ground of being. Now, from this place of silent observation, gently turn your awareness inward, into the space held by the chrysalis. You are looking into the quantum soup. Do not look for the old you. Do not search for familiar feelings or memories. That is the caterpillar. It has dissolved. Searching for it is like searching for a specific drop of water in a vast ocean. Its essence has been returned to the whole. Instead of looking, you will now feel, sense for a new vibration, a new resonance. It might be subtle at first. A flicker, a warmth, a sense of lightness in your chest. It may feel like a color you've never seen before, or a sound you've never heard. It is the frequency of your emergent self. It will not feel like effort. It will not feel like striving. It will feel like truth. It will feel like peace. It will feel like freedom. This is the coherent energy pattern of the butterfly, beginning to form in the field of pure potential. It is the signature of the self you are becoming. Don't try to name it. Don't try to define it. Just find it with your feeling. Find that flicker of a new dawn within you. Take your time. It is there. Now that you have sensed it, you will choose it. As the observer, as the chrysalis, you have a power you have forgotten you possess. The power of attention. In the quantum world, observation is not passive. Observation is an act of creation. It is the force that collapses infinite potential into a single reality. So now, you will place all of your focus on that new frequency. Gather the full power of your awareness, this silent, strong, unwavering consciousness, and pour it onto that feeling of freedom, onto that flicker of light. Amplify it with your attention. Imagine your awareness as a sun, and you are shining its light directly onto this new seed of self. Every ounce of your focus now nourishes this vibration. You are consciously choosing your new state of being. This is the collapse. You are telling the universe with the full force of your being, this. I choose this. This is who I am now. Feel it grow stronger under your gaze. Feel that subtle vibration become a clear, stable hum. Feel the flicker become a steady, brilliant light at the very core of your being. The quantum soup is crystallizing around your choice. The new pattern is locking into place. You are not hoping for it. You are not asking for it. You are architecting it. Now, feel the emergence. Feel this new frequency, this new light, expand from your core. Feel it crystallize and become the new center of your entire being. It is no longer just a feeling you are observing. It is what you are. The distinction between the container and the contained dissolves. You are no longer just the chrysalis. You are the emerged. You are the butterfly. Feel this new self fully inhabiting your body. A new operating system of light and coherence running in every cell. A new baseline of peace. A new foundation of freedom. This is you. This has always been you, waiting to be chosen. Breathe into this reality. Embody it. Own it. When you are ready, gently, slowly, begin to bring your awareness back to the space around you. But do not leave that feeling behind. Bring it with you. As you begin to hear the sounds in your room, hear them through the ears of this new self. As you begin to feel the air on your skin, feel it on the skin of this new self. Open your eyes, but see the world through the lens of this new frequency. Welcome back. As you return, what one word describes the core frequency of your new self? Not a thought, a feeling. Is it freedom? Clarity? Stillness? Joy? Find the word. Hold that word in your mind. It is not an affirmation. It is a fact. It is your new truth. You are no longer the person who started this video. The collapse is complete. The emergence is real. You are now operating from the new self. This is not a concept. It is a physical, biological, and energetic fact. But a newly emerged being needs to learn how to move in a new reality. A butterfly cannot rely on the memory of how to crawl. It must discover the principles of flight. Here is your new instruction manual. Here's how to handle spiritual awakening identity shift as a daily practice. The first tool is the most important. It is the foundation for everything that comes next. We call it the frequency first protocol. The old self operated from a protocol of think, then act. It would consult its library of past experiences, its fears, its learned limitations, and then make a calculated decision. That system is now obsolete. The new self operates from a state of being. It acts from its core frequency. Before any action, before any decision, before any conversation, your only job is to reconnect to the feeling state of the new self you just embodied, that one word you found, that sense of freedom, or peace, or clarity. That is your new source code. You must connect to it first. Before you answer that email, close your eyes for 3 seconds and feel that frequency. Before you walk into that meeting, take one breath and embody that frequency. Before you speak to a loved one, pause and become that frequency. Action from habit is an echo of the caterpillar. Action from frequency is the expression of the butterfly. This one shift will change your life more profoundly than any 10-year plan ever could, because it ensures that everything you do, everything you create, is a broadcast from your new coherent self. You are no longer trying to achieve a feeling through action. You are bringing the feeling into the action. This is how the butterfly flies. Now, inevitably, the ghosts of the old operating system will appear. A thought of fear, a wave of anxiety, a familiar story of lack or limitation will surface. Your old conditioning was to fight these thoughts, to analyze them, to try and fix them. Doing so is like arguing with a ghost. It gives energy to something that is already dead. This brings us to the second tool, the ghost archive technique. When an old thought pattern or fear arises, you must first understand what it is. It is an echo. It is a residual energetic signature firing down a neural pathway that no longer has a self attached to it. It is the scent of the caterpillar left behind in the chrysalis. It is not you. So you do not fight it. You do not resist it. You observe it with the calm detachment of a librarian. You see the thought, "I'm not good enough for this," and you recognize its origin. You say internally, "Ah, I see you. You were a very important survival strategy for the caterpillar self. Thank you for your service." And then, you do something profoundly powerful. You label it. Archived. In your mind, you place that thought form into a file. A deep, silent archive of a life that is no longer being lived. You are not suppressing it. You are categorizing it. This is historical data from a decommissioned system. It is not a current operational command. By archiving it instead of fighting it, you drain it of all its power. You honor its past role while confirming its present irrelevance. Do this every time a ghost appears. Observe, acknowledge, thank, archive. This is quantum mental hygiene. The first two tools recalibrate your internal world. The third tool ensures your external world comes into alignment. We call this environmental recalibration. Your new higher frequency is like a finely tuned instrument. To keep it resonant, it cannot be stored in a room full of chaotic, clashing noise. The butterfly cannot live in the caterpillar's old world. You must become a ruthless yet loving curator of your reality. This means consciously assessing every aspect of your environment and asking one question. Does this resonate with the frequency of the self I have now become? People, places, information, objects. The conversations you engage in. Do they feel expansive, or do they feel like the heavy, dense stories of the old self? You must find the courage to walk away from conversations that are broadcasting from a dead timeline. The information you consume, the news, the social media feeds, the books, is it nourishing the butterfly, or is it feeding the ghost of the caterpillar? You must have the discipline to unfollow, to unsubscribe, to turn it off, to consciously starve the old patterns of the data they fed on. This isn't about judgment, it is about physics. It is about frequency matching. To hold your new state, you must surround yourself with resonant frequencies. Anything that feels dissonant, anything that pulls you back into the gravity of the old identity, must be lovingly released. This may be the most difficult step, but it is the most critical. You are protecting the miraculous emergence you have just undergone. This recalibration begins with the stories you tell. The oldest, most ingrained narratives that define the caterpillar. What is the single oldest story about yourself that you will consciously stop telling? Starting the moment this video ends, declare its death. This is not complex. It is a new way of being, summarized in a simple daily integration framework. In the morning, before anything else, you practice the frequency first protocol. You connect to that core feeling of your new self. This sets your navigational compass for the day. Throughout the day, you practice the ghost archive technique. As the echoes of the old self arise, you notice, thank, and archive them. This is your active mental clarity. In the evening, you practice environmental recalibration. You identify one thing, just one, that you will release. One subscription, one habit, one conversational pattern. This is your energetic pruning. Morning, connect. Midday, check. Evening, shed. This is the practice. This is how you stabilize your new reality. This is how you live as the butterfly. You have navigated the final self-collapse. You understand the physics, you have seen the signs, and you have embodied the new self. Let this sink in for a moment. This is not a small thing. It is a profound achievement, a graduation of consciousness that very few people on this planet will ever knowingly experience. You have faced the void and did not blink. You have allowed the old world to burn away and have stood calmly in the sacred space of your own awareness as it happened. You are the chrysalis that held the transformation. You are the butterfly that has emerged. But emerging from the chrysalis is not the end of the journey. It is the beginning of flight. The work of dissolution is over. The work of creation now begins. The question is no longer, who am I? You have your answer. You are the silent, eternal awareness that is now animating this new, coherent, energetic structure. The question now becomes something far more powerful. What can this new self do? What is the purpose of this metamorphosis? Why go through the terror and the fire of the final collapse just to become a slightly better version of the old you? That was never the point. The point was to become an entirely new category of being, a being that operates by a different set of physical and metaphysical laws. You see, when the chaotic, incoherent frequency of the old self dissolves, it is replaced by the pure, stable, high-amplitude frequency of your new self. And when that coherent frequency interacts with the quantum field, something incredible happens. It begins to entangle with and influence everything around it. Your personal transformation becomes the catalyst for collective transformation. Your internal coherence begins to organize the chaos in the world outside of you. This isn't a metaphor, it's physics. You are no longer just a participant in reality. You have become a conscious architect of it. You have moved from being a single, isolated chrysalis into a node within a global network of emerging consciousness. A metamorphosis field. Now that you have become the butterfly, what if your flight could change the weather of the entire world? We will explore this in our next video, where we unpack the science and the application of your new power. We will move from understanding your inner state to mastering your outer effect. Our next session is titled Quantum Entanglement, Explained: How Your New Self Instantly Influences Reality. We will break down how your new, stable frequency doesn't just attract things, it fundamentally changes the probabilistic nature of the reality around you. And after that, we will master a concept you have only ever seen as a passive phenomenon. We will dive into synchronicity is simpler than you think. It's your new self's echo. You will learn to see synchronicities not as random signs from the universe, but as the direct, measurable feedback of your own coherent energy imprinting itself onto the fabric of space-time. Subscribe and turn on all notifications. In our next video, Quantum Entanglement Explained: How Your New Self Instantly Influences Reality, we move from inner metamorphosis to outer creation, and you must be here for that initiation. The fear is gone. The confusion has lifted. What remains is a vast and open horizon, filled not with anxiety, but with a profound, purposeful curiosity. You are standing at the beginning of a new life, holding the keys to a new reality. The caterpillar journey is over. The butterfly journey has just begun. Welcome to your power. Welcome to your flight.